Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. It's December 24th. I wanted to give you a huge opportunity that I think is sort of occurring as a new wave in crypto. And that is the DeSci new sector that has been really popping off over the last few weeks. And again, I really think it is so new that barely any people have really become sort of exposed to this new category of DeSci that is, making strides, making waves in the crypto community. DeSci is decentralized science. A lot of different projects have tried to come about, trying to figure out where does crypto intersect with different sectors. One of the big sectors that crypto intersected with over the past few months was things like AI, right? We saw the advent of the GOAT token, which was a complete sort of, you know, um, let me show you guys exactly the Gospel of Goatsy. This was a complete sort of AI, created account, AI trained, Twitter account, as well as a actual tradable token that you could kind of buy into, if you will, right? And it currently sits at $500 million market cap. Other tokens, in many ways came about it based off that, which were, spin-off industries like virtuals and AI agents, and those really took off, right? They pretty much started, several months ago or, 3, 4 months ago at sub, 1, 5, 10 million market cap levels, and now they're upwards of 200, 300 million market caps. If you look at virtuals as well, which is on the base ecosystem, right? Let me see where I can find virtuals, or let's look at different, agents, if you will, right? Whether it's Luna, or whether it's Game, which is another virtuals agent, right? All these different agents that have been spun off as part of the larger AI narrative have achieved this monster market cap level, which is, 100 to 200 million dollars. I believe we are on the same cusp of finding something similar like that within DeSci and robotics. And I have some incredible opportunities to show you guys of things that I've been paying attention to and looking at specifically within these two sectors, which is, DeSci and robotics, right? First one is one of the ones that I've done sort of heavy research into and tried to figure out exactly what this thing is. And it is an incredible project with really smart people behind it. Apparently, again, you guys can do your own research, and none of this is financial advice, but apparently, two or three of the researchers behind Debot.science, and Debot is currently a very low market cap coin, currently sitting at 575K. Debot is basically training virtual robots to be able to navigate, right, virtual landscapes. And what they want to do is slowly sort of train them on these virtual landscapes to do different things like tackle different hurdles and have different movements. And they want to have the token, which is, they want that their slogan is your token's their evolution. So they want to have the R3D token, which is again related to Dbot, or it's called Red Genesis. Okay. They want to have your token be able to effectively, train these robots in these virtual landscapes. And I think that is going to be a huge thing because if you actually start looking on YouTube or start looking at different videos from Stanford and these prestigious universities, what they're really trying to do is trying to utilize um, robotic sort of movements and landscapes in the virtual world to train their models before they start implementing into the real robots. And I think something like R3D, again, this dbot.science project, is going to help accelerate stuff like that. Because if you have, let's just say, a large training model that has done, a lot of real-time, training and rendering and shown you results of how they've done their training models, This is hours and hours and hours of work that they've put in with different parameters, with different movements. As you can see, they talk about, what kind of robot it is, what kind of technology it is, what kind of terrain that they're navigating, and what their objectives are of the robot. These are the new projects and opportunities that I really think are ones that we want to start paying attention to. Because in my opinion, I think the train for the maximum upside of, what you could get out of, let's just say, the AI tokens, I think that may have kind of peaked. Of course, many of them will go higher, but the reality is like the 50x or the 100xers, right? Those are pretty much well out of reach now, right? Because if you think about Luna, which is the Virtuals project, right? Or Virtuals agent, or you look at Waifu, which is another sort of AI, you know, um, virtual agent platform project on Solana, right? These are 50, 100, $200 million projects already, right? I think their upside is relatively capped. Maybe this gets to, 150, $200 million, but that's like, 4 or 5x from here. Maybe they get to 7 or 8x from current market caps. But the point is that, for most of us in crypto, what we like to pride ourselves on is recognizing the shift in environment as well as the rise of new narratives. And I think the rise of the Desci narrative or the robotics narratives, especially something like Debot.science, I think is going to be incredible. And something like Debot.science trading at, let me look, 577K, right? Maybe this is not the exact project that will take off, but the point is, so far it has done relatively well. All the big sell-offs that have taken place, large number of buyers have come in and absorbed that because people want to see new narratives come about and say, hey, I want to bet on something really new and unique, right? And something like Debot.science allows people that new narrative opportunity where 2, 3, 4 months from now, you could look back and say, oh, well, this thing, was trading at $1 million and now it's trading at, let's just say, trading at 500K right now to the upside of let's let's sort of put it to the levels of where, Luna Virtuals was, right? From here, that is effectively, almost a 17 or 18,000% gain, right? I mean, almost what is that, like a 200x or something, right? This is the kind of stuff that if you want to be early on, okay, these are the bets that you want to start taking and putting on. Again, this is not financial advice. I already own a small position in this, but point is like, I got in, somewhere around like 300, 400K. This is not that far off from where the price is. It's not like, me telling people that, for example, Schizo, which is another project that I bought into a little bit, me buying in at 5.5 million and price moving to 5.6 million and me making this video doesn't change a whole lot of where you get to have your entry, right? However, sometimes what happens in crypto is, people will start shilling you their projects. So, for example, I don't know, something like AIXBT, right? Many people got into AIXBT somewhere around like, I don't know, like the low, 40s to 30 million market cap level. And now they're up, 5 to 10x, right? That's a very, very wide difference versus what I'm telling you guys, which is, um, Debot.science currently trading at 570K market cap, having a potential, upside of 20, 50, or $100 million. Again, if it's truly going to take off in like the robotics and DeSci space, I think these are the kinds of projects that you want to be watching. Same thing with Schizo, by the way, right? I own a small position in both Debot and Schizo. Buying this thing at, $4 to $5 million and potential upside of 20, 30, $40 million, you all basically get to capture a pretty large chunk of the move. Okay. So if you start doing research into DeSci, if you start looking at exactly, where the projects are, what are they doing, you can, by the way, go on my Twitter. I post a lot about DeSci stuff. Here's some of the different projects, right? You don't even need to look at the projects I've mentioned, but start looking into it. Start looking into it because this is slowly a um, aspect of our industry that is beginning to grow legs and starting to run faster and faster and starting to attract more capital, right? So as you could see, as you start doing more research into Desci and you start recognizing, oh, here are the different projects that are associated with Desci. How do I buy them? Do I want to buy them on Solana? Do I want to buy them on BaseChain? Here's some of the top, projects by market cap that you could find associated in Desci. You can find them on CoinGecko, from Origin Trail trading at 350 million to VitaDAO at 150. Most of the projects are sub, 10, 20 million dollars, right? Some are obviously less than that. So you may actually, be very, very early to something like this and start doing heavy research on your own to figure out, well, where do I, place my chips for the next, foreseeable 2, 3, 6 months, right? Because this is the cusp of a new revolution that's happening in crypto that, in my opinion, happened the same way with virtuals or Vifu or some of these AI projects, 3, 6 months back. And you're not going to start recognizing these projects as, 50, 100 billion dollar market cap levels until 2, 3 months from now. So don't miss the boat on this. Start doing heavy research into all the projects that I've mentioned so far. Riff, same thing, right? Rifampicin, this was again another project that started barely at, a couple of 100K market cap, 1, 2 million, and went straight up to $200 million, right? Even now, still trading at $50 million. Things like this are showing you that, hey, there's a lot of momentum behind it. We even had Bio, which was recently, again, another Desci project, which was recently listed on Binance, right? Binance launch pool right there, right? So Desci is actually making its foray into the bigger centralized exchanges. So your job is to figure out, oh, well, what has potential to become a big narrative and what has potential to be listed on big exchanges and what has potential to have more upside as part of this bigger, newer narrative. Okay. So I wanted to, give you all that rundown. Um, and more specifically, like I said, right, the projects that I'm really into right now, because I'm actually, deep into robotics, I understand robotics a decent amount. Um, I like something like Debot.science because it makes sense to me, right? Tokens being used to move and start working robots into different landscapes and fields and giving them different tasks. That makes total sense, right? That also gives sort of a utility or a utility as well as a usage to the token, you know. That to me is fascinating. And trading at 575K market cap, that's freaking huge. Like, I mean, huge as in it's so piddly that you could start shoving in a 1, 2K, 3K, and you could, buy a decent sized position, especially if this thing takes off to, say, $5 million, right? So, for example, if you think about it, okay, from here, something like a $5 million upside, let's do, just some basic math, right? From here, 5 million, and then let's do some bigger 10 million targets. And then let's just say, maybe it doesn't have that much upside. Maybe it gets to like 25 million. Okay. So from the current areas, if you start to get in and you put in $1,000 from here, your 1,000 becomes 10,000, right? If it gets to 5 million market cap, it becomes 20,000 if it gets to 10 million market cap, right? And once it gets to 25 million, you can start doing the math, right? The money really, really starts adding up because that's basically a nice 50x on your money. And that's a 50K trade right there with $1,000. So this is why, finding sort of early opportunities doesn't mean it has to be like a 10K market cap opportunity. But even if you're getting into some of these, 10 million, 15 million, or, a couple of 100K market cap coins, and you've done your research and they really start moving, the 2X's, the 5X's, the 10X's, they add up and they compound very quickly, right? So this is what I wanted to show you guys, in today's video is make sure you start paying attention to Desci. I really think it's starting to take off. I really think exchanges are embracing this new opportunity where crypto is not just, meme coins and speculation. there's some real work happening, from AI platforms to AI agents to now decentralized science. Um, Great things are happening, and it makes me really happy that, you know, we're actually making use of crypto in a non-speculative, non-gambling, non-memey way. This is now about let's bring real world, value into crypto as well as provide real world value from crypto to the rest of the world. So I'm super excited. I'm doing a lot of research. I'm picking up a lot of coins, this end of year, starting to pick up on Desci projects, starting to pick up, more and more tokens on Red Genesis, things like Schizo. I'm bullish. I'm excited for it. Hope you guys do some research too. Again, none of this is financial advice. Don't copy trade me, but do make sure you do your research, right? Do make sure that you are positioned for 2025 because again, we're here on December 24th, right? Pretty much the end of the year is coming up. Even if you didn't perform that well, all of 2024, 2025 could be a massive year for you by simply just catching some of these new narratives early. And catching new narratives early is, what crypto is all about because everybody gets to have an even playing field on getting to buy and pull the trigger on stuff early, right? So if you do your research and you vetted the team or vetted the project or whatever, I generally like to go into people's discords. Like this is the Red Genesis Discord, right? I see a lot of admins as well as the developers making sure that the updates are pushed out to the community, that people know exactly what they're building, that everyone understands exactly what this project is about, and that makes me happy, right? That makes me know that okay, the developers have not abandoned this. This thing is not a scam. So at least for now, I've done my research and I've shoved some money into this. If it goes up higher, like $1-2 million or something, I might add more. Okay. That's it, everybody. Good luck. Do your research. Make sure you check out debot.science. This is not like a paid video or anything. I simply wanted to do this because I think robotics is fascinating. I think crypto X robotics X, sort of DeSci as sort of a Venn diagram of three different industries coming together is incredible, right? I think we're gonna find a lot of unique opportunities like this, especially something incredible like Debot.science, which I'm really looking forward to seeing it grow. Good luck. Take care. Happy holidays.